I've meditated for a long time and done yoga and stuff, but it wasn't until fairly recently, whenever I started to use a manual typewriter to do my morning free writes, that I realized that a lot of the attentional contemplative training that I learned from doing meditation applies directly to writing. And I say this not because people need to learn meditation, but because writing itself can teach the same skills. And if you're already journaling, you're doing 90% of this already. The last mile is just to decide where you want to rest your awareness. And so the invitation is focus on your body, settle your body, and be aware of the room that you're in and your inner experience, which there's tons there, and the tactile experience of writing. So as a beginning, and then as you're writing, you rest your attention on the flow of writing. Like there's a forward momentum that you create when you're actually producing language. Rest your awareness on that. And that way you don't have to concentrate or like constrict or anything, and you just sort of feel all this stuff and your attention gets a lot more spread and receptive. And having this kind of sensory anchor, it's fairly similar to when you're aware of your breath and you're meditating. Lets the nervous system settle, and it produces a lot less managed writing, and you'll be surprised by what comes up. I'm surprised this isn't like better known. Most of the stuff that I've seen, it's like write from the wild mind, or write to dump out stuff from the morning, or overcome resistance. But it's not really that granular on the things that you can do in the moment that you're actually writing. And this is where things get really interesting for me. And what makes writing unique among all these different practices that we could be doing, like you could be meditating, you could be making pottery or knitting or something, but you choose writing because you're wanting to actually work with language and words and symbolic meaning. And so what I'm discovering is that there's so much more that happens at the pre-language level that's really interesting to work with, and that has downstream implications for what you actually write. And it makes it easier to write. The missing 10% is attending to what your hands are doing, your body feels like, feeling your awareness in the room, resting your awareness on the forward momentum of language as you're generating it. These are really nuanced things, and it sounds like almost nothing at all, but there's tons there. And that's the invitation.